The day of the hero draws near, which shall see the crowning of a new king. 7 days remain.
Have a look.
Soon, the king will be crowned, but I have truly exhausted all my options on waiting for the day, so I've decided to finally go up to the face in the sky and face the tyrant Luis, as all the monsters around us are basically wastes of my time due to me being extremely powerful now after we defeated all the dragons, so let's just get going.
How disappointing. The prize is already in my hands. All that's left is to wait until it might be awoken. The people must think I'm the one behind the madness in their hearts. Okay. I can see why you felt such hopelessness. The more anxious the people grow, the more they choose blind fanaticism over confronting their fears. This was no fault of yours, simply their nature. Knowing all this, I shall claim the ideals you abandoned and finish it in your stead. But I have my own interpretations to add.
The skybound avatar. Taking on the face of His Majesty, the royal palace rose to the sky on the day of his own funeral. Is it still the palace as it once was? It is impossible to tell from the ground. The gauntlet runner arrives at the entrance, at last marking the prince's fateful return to the place he was once forced to abandon.
The royal palace has changed. 'Tis a shadow of its past.
Tis just as chaotic within.
Your Majesty, do you hear me? I speak to you as His Highness, the Prince's Royal Guard, Hulkenberg, Knight in your service. His Highness, the Prince, your heir apparent, has just arrived. Will your Majesty break the spell and allow His Highness to succeed the throne?
Don't think we're getting an answer, no matter how long we wait.
We must tread carefully.
This place is swarming with Magla too. Even I can feel it.
It must be the anxieties of the royal capital's people.
Luis would call it righteous, but in the end, he's only preying upon the people's fear. Let's go.
We eventually enter a room as Hulkenberg points us to the right direction, but we're assaulted by the voices of the masses, angry at me directly. The voices get stronger as we leave the stairs, as suddenly what looks like bodies of the masses appear with them mumbling their hatred. We're left to wonder what it is, as Bastilio believes it to be like that melancholisation. Never seeing it like this before, Yufa says that she can sense something tremendous, but instead of simply crystallizing it as though hearts tormented by anxiety have been given form, suddenly we hear Luis's voice welcoming us. As we yell at him for halting our advance, he responds that we misunderstand. He told us that he could wait for us, and if we cannot proceed, then we should just call it a loss and flee back until he is crowned. As with that, his voice fades, and we're left to find the source of it all. We get going to the location with the help of our fairy guide. As we're blocked by that weird knife thing back in the temple, we have no choice but to take them down, but alas, more take their place as we're left to retreat, and just like that temple place, we have to find the original human and take them down. It didn't take too long. With their defeat, we were left to open the door to face the monster waiting inside, as we're mesmerized by the statue glowing. likely the source of the melancholia, but we've got bigger fish to fry. With the Chimera defeated, we're left to face the giant statue. Hulkenberg gives us a little history of the statue. It's called the King's Servant, and legend has it that the king might awaken it with a swing of the scepter. It would come to his aid, but Yufa comments on the magma gushing out of the crystal at a tremendous rate, like a torrent of magic, as we're left to needing to destroy it, despite Hulkenberg's complaints. But I'm the prince, baby, and I decide it goes. As I break it, and we hear the voices of someone, it appears to be from Matira, as the speaker talks to the masses about Luis, continuing the unrest in the country, but with the destruction of the crystal, they come to their minds as Barden appears, saying that they were swallowed by what anxiety can do to people, as he knows what it can do, as he speaks for us, knowing that they're not alone, and it'll be hard, but he pleads for them to fight by their own mind, and if they believe in anything, let it be their choice. As we're left to speculate, guessing that the masses blocking our way initially were my detractors, and with the crystal destroyed, we should have paved a way for us. I can feel it in my heart, as my rank of the populace is now 441. As with that sudden jump, we're left to wonder if it means that we're bringing sanity back to the people, and only one way to find out, and it seems to be true, as the voices of the angry detractors have been drowned out by my loyal followers, as it dissipates before our very eyes. Hulkenberg is shocked to see that it was the king's servants that caused this, saying they've been here since time immemorial. By her wording, they're indeed more, as Luis seems to be impressed by our small accomplishment, thinking he should have considered this to be a possibility. Hulkenberg asks for him what he did to the king's servants. He replies simply that she can arrive to her own conclusions by proving her strength. He sees value in little else, and says for us to press onwards as his voice fades away. With that, Hulkenberg tells us that there are 4 servants, so there's 3 left to destroy, as suddenly I feel a weird sensation like if memories are flowing into my mind as I step forward.
Your Majesty, I must speak plain. Since the disappearance of His Highness the Prince, you have left the land's governance to Sanctifex Forden. I understand the weight of your grief. To lose not only your love, and now His Highness, but ever since Sanctism was established as the state religion, Forden has well overstepped his bounds. The man's audacity has grown intolerable.
It hardly matters. Let Forden do as he pleases. In the end, nothing will truly make a difference.
What's wrong? Did you see something?
Actually, just now.
The late king? I saw nothing.
But all that sounds too specific to be an illusion.
Tom, perhaps 'twas a memory from your life as a prince, restored to you.
No, this attendant mentioned the loss of His Highness, right? So he must have been gone already. It can't have been something he experienced.
Then perhaps it's from the memory of His Majesty himself. This place is the heart of the royal magic. Maybe the late king's will itself still lingers. Perhaps it was passed through the Magla, and the memories are meant for him alone, as the king's child.
If all this is true, then it goes to show His Majesty was a parent like any other. He thought he'd lost his son, and that grief became his undoing.
Maybe it's not about the king's memories, but his anxieties. You're seeing what his heaviest burdens were.
That may be true.
Right. A king certainly does his kingdom a disservice by refusing to rule it. But Luis actively defiles it. And that's clearly the greater offense. He's turned the royal palace into a den of monsters.
There's unknown dangers around every corner. Let's carry on, but stay vigilant.
with that sudden memory of the past gone, we head to the next room, and once more the voices of our detractors block our path, as Luis once more tells us that our path is blocked by anxiety once more, appearing that I'm quite the pariah. Juno retorts that he's one to talk after manipulating the people of the city as he likes. That melancholicization, just another one of his foul tricks, huh? He replies that we blame him. Then he will ask us a question. Did we not hear the people's genuine anxiety-riddled feelings? Cheryl asks for him to get to the point, and he states that Magla is formed from the anxiety and insecurities of the people, thinking we should think carefully on what that exactly means, as his voice fades away once more, leaving us to think on his words. But for now, we've got more servants to destroy, so we go forwards, entering a maze of what seems to be like doors that don't go where they're meant to, causing me quite the confusion, but it didn't take me too long to get the simple gist of the mechanics of the area, and finally reach where I was assuming the servant to rest, and sure enough, there's something protecting, and it's a bird, which, you know, means... With the battle done and dusted, Hulkenberg makes note of the monstrous guardians, likely mean that Luis is setting them to slow us down, which makes sense since, well, the wall of angry masses blocking our path. Speaking of that, just like the last one, we've probably got to destroy it, as Luis has done something to the statues. It'll be fine, I can fix it later. Probably, as I destroy it and we once again hear the voices like we did last time. It appears to be coming from Briarhaven, as the ex-candidates are having a debate of sorts about who they side with. They all make their points, even the old man is there, as Lena speaks up saying that they only follow Luis because they're scared, but they don't need to be, as they've got them now, and they all got each other's back. And with that, it seems that we've got more faith into us, as the populace trusts in each other and the anxiety that is plaguing the country lessens, as I'm now ranked 73 with the populace. With that, if anything like last time, the staircase should be accessible as we run to see, and although we can hear people supporting us in the mix, the voices of our detractors drown them out, which means that the other room likely has a statue and where we'll be going next. But entering the room, we're trapped inside with crystals that spew out undead monsters, as we're left to take them on, and thanks to my strength, I'm able to simply beat them in the overworld and grind some MP, though I'm still on a timer, so I had to be a little bit careful, as I bet them with a minute and a half left to spare. As we head inside the room, the Guardian is waiting for us. It's a Minotaur, so I hope they can give us a good fight. Sadly, the monster didn't stand a chance against me, as we're left to think of all the innocent guards and civilians that likely in this palace. Still before Luis arrived, likely the monsters and humans that roam the halls are his doing, which is sickening to think about, giving me more of a reason to destroy the statue so we can kill him sooner. As with his destruction, we hear the voices once more, and this time it's from Etria, as Edeni, the chief of them, is giving a rousing speech on our behalf, telling his people to open their third eye in a way which gets to them, as with Edeni's strong words to his people, being able to sway a closed nation, I feel my popularity grow even stronger, as with this amount of support, we should be able to press onwards. And sure enough, I was correct, as the voices fade away, as Luis sees that we are all proceeding unexpectedly well. As Stroll tells him that he must hear the cheers for the prince, the flaw in his plan is starting to show. He retorts that the fault isn't with him, merely the country. We're left to wonder what he means, but once again his lips are sealed, waiting for us to press onwards. And alas, I guess we have no choice, as we press onwards until suddenly...
Got a moment?
The festivities for this year's Saints' Day shall be conducted with the utmost ceremony. A fine opportunity to expand the market for igniters and spread them among people. Along with this policy, we will announce the closure of the Mage Academy.
What? Why close the academy?
Reports are troubling, I'm afraid. They secretly study dragons and other profane forces deep in the mountains. The people, with the popularization of magic igniters, all this theoretical study of magic will soon be obsolete.
No objections. That's it, please. Thank you for your efforts. How can a king accomplish anything alone? What was I supposed to do?
Another vision.
I saw something different than before.
His Majesty was exhausted then. His attendants did mention that he no longer possessed any real authority.
Sounds like he had no one to support his spirits. I admit, I do pity him there. Beyond that, though, do you suppose he means for us to see these? If these memories are hand-picked, then do they not come off as excuses?
Strong.
It's just... his own son is risking his life in here. He deserves more from the king than regrets and memories.
With another one of my father's past memories appearing to me, we enter a long hallway as I feel a pain in my chest. As we're getting closer and closer, we go like a bad memory that my body's reacting to, which it finally makes sense as entering the room I fully remember. It's where it all started, the place where Rella attacked me when she was manipulated by Forden to take Luis off the map, but he kept his grip on the military, and Hulkenberg understands more on why Alsus did what he did. Yufa says that I made it back, reassuring Hulkenberg as she thanks her. Eismeg calls it a strange bit of fate. What began in these walls will end in them, but Basilius says that it's not strange to him, just means that we've moved on. We've nixed the curse, and this fight isn't over, the past no more. Which is very true, since this will decide on the king after all, but that means that Luis will want to bring his all to defend the final statue, as...
Wait! Something's coming!
This uncanny Magla. Is this...
So you've come, but you will go no further.
What have you done to yourself?
Ah, of course. This is your first time seeing me like this. Witness how I've ascended to even greater heights. Wonderful, is it not? Lord Luis can take a wretch like me, someone fate condemned, and turn me into a man of power!
Zorba, you... Did you... willingly endure Luis's spell? Did you let him twist your form?
So it's true then. No matter someone's tribe, he can turn them human and make them a monster.
What the hell is worth that? You call this a man of power? Luis turned you into an abomination. Call me what you wish. This is the form I desire. If Magla is a person's anxiety, why resist it? If you long to be liberated, you need only unleash it. In Lord Luis's world, strength is the ultimate judge of all. Nothing else matters. It's freedom and fairness. We're moments from the dawn of a perfect new world.
And how many sacrifices do you reckon it'll cost?
What does it matter? What world was ever won without sacrifice? No, to be bled on an altar so fair and just, it's a noble and beautiful thing. Lord Luis strives to build us a utopia, and I, not you, shall be first to make it my home. You were dealt a winning hand in the game of life. By sheer chance! You have everything I never will. I will not let you soil our new world. You'll die before you ever set foot on liberated ground. With this power, I nurtured under Lord Luis, I will deny you everything! Now die! All of you die! There's no place for parasites like you in our new world!
What point is there to a new world if it costs innocent lives to make it?
Save your breath, Stroll. He is beyond reason.
You're one to talk of reason, you imbecile! I'm not here to chat. I'm here to annihilate you!
Zorb is a human, so I don't want to sugarcoat it.
What?
No holding back!
Damn it! Not again! Lord Luis! Damn it! Why? Why does this world keep rejecting me?
How could you push your body this far?
Your deeds bespeak a heart of incredible loyalty, Zorba. 'Tis a tragedy that you have pledged it to the wrong man.
You're the ones who've got it wrong. This world doesn't have much longer. I know you feel it too, deep down, don't you? Nobody has any choice in how they'll live their lives. They don't even realize it should be their decision. You can't change that world without destroying it. The only man willing to fight for a better world is Lord Luis. Why can't you see that?
I get it now. Zorba, you're the only one who understood everything Luis wanted, and fought for it anyway.
I don't care if I'm just a stepping stone. Lord Luis can build his world on my corpse. A world of beautiful equality, where only the chosen may live.
With Zorba plummeting to his death, Basilio looks down where he fell. As Hulkenberg says that he chose his path, Basilio admits that him and Fidelio never could know how to deal with him, always sad and moping, then suddenly bursts of anger and shouting, lashing out. He thinks about it, wondering if they were cries for help. Regardless of that, what's done is done. As Basilio asks if it was Luis who did this, I think what happened to me holds merit that he did. As Stroll admits that some of Luis's words have merit, but he turned Zorba into that, and not with his words. However badly Zorba wanted it, if Luis truly cared to protect him, he wouldn't have done that. It's all just a fallacy. Basilio asks if he supposes the equality he pushes is a smokescreen, and he merely is being selfish. I can see that in some level of revenge, perhaps, but we'll just have to ask him that ourselves. As Yufa thinks on what he said, something about a beautiful equality where only the chosen may live, likely meaning those who obey or perhaps those who survive whatever he plans, likely what Rella saw in her vision, a land full of feral humans, but we won't know what it all means until we ask the man face to face. As we go back to the final statue, making us wonder if they're attuned with the king's magic. What we found out from Agrica holds true, then there's a good chance, since they're dragons, it's connected to the past, and more worryingly, if they're active, Luis either has the scepter or is able to use royal magic. As we destroy the final statue, hearing the voices from the capital.
What was that? Something just fell out of the sky.
Whoa! It looks like a dead human!
It's not a human. A person? But the body fell from the royal palace. What's going on?
I know this face. Isn't this the mage who was wreaking havoc at the cathedral months ago?
No. Couldn't be. If that's the man who was working for Luis, he'd be long dead. Wait. Has he been alive this whole time? Was he turned into a monster?
I told you, didn't I? It's just like what happened to the prince. Luis is behind the whole thing! Finally ready to talk, are we? Listen up, good people! Luis has lied to all of you!
So then, all that about the fake prince being a monster, that was a lie? He's truly His Highness?
But still,
As long as we obey, Count Luis will protect us.
Oh, come off it! You can't just take Luis at his word, people! This Zorba, the man who just crashed down, was one of the Count's most loyal men!
This was Luis's doing. If that's the case, even if we obey, we don't know what he'll do to us.
This is what I've been telling you. Luis isn't wiping out these monsters. He's bloody well mass-producing them. There's even evidence he's giving them orders to attack. Look, we're talking about a man who's openly declared he'll execute anyone he feels like, even average citizens, if they don't fall in line. Is that the king you want?
No, lies. I don't believe you. Count Luis is our savior. He's supposed to save the world.
But what if he turns us all into monsters?
About time. Is this the moment the royal... Is that? Well, well.
What's the situation? Have we even the slightest hope of defeating Luis?
Been a long time, my lord. You've always had a keen eye for reading the situation. Well, the winds are changing. Now, it's just a matter of what you choose to believe in. Can you smell it? There's change in the air.
Those voices just now. That was battling, and the others, wasn't it? They all sounded startled to see Zorba's corpse.
Finally, a reasonable reaction. Seems we've destroyed all the statues then. That should help get people back on our side, don't you think?
Indeed. The sight of Zorba must have finally gotten it through their heads. All Luis has to offer them is insanity.
So, none of the king's servants remain.
Then our people are at last sound of mind. Your vile magic will deceive them no more.
My magic? I deceived no one.
What do you mean? You were responsible for all this chaos, weren't you?
In any case, there can be no more doubt. Your support and mine have finally reached parity. You've come quite a way in the short time since the day of your despair. Commendable in all honesty. A marvel indeed. So be it. Come to the throne. With the power of the royal scepter in my hands, I will give you what you deserve.
You have the royal scepter. Surely you haven't.
And as we may now speak plain, I will tell you the truth of both the royal scepter and this very country. I'll be waiting.
Wait, so Luis got his hands on the royal scepter. This is bad. Extremely bad.
Even should we win the majority vote, it won't matter who the new king is. Luis alone would have the power to doom the entire nation.
We've just got to get it back. He wants a face-to-face showdown? Well, we'll give him one.
On our way to face Luis, we see horns on the ground, which confirms a suspicion I've had for some time, that Luis is also an elder. But regardless of that, we must face him now.
Such a countenance! So you truly are the Prince Reborn. I must say, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. Quite unpredictable as death moves.
What of you? Is this hornless form your own true being?
I'll say this here for your own good, Luis. Hand over the royal scepter. Only the one who has earned the people's support is fit to be king. You and us. We can still end this without more bloodshed.
No path forward is bloodless. The king may have avoided it, but the people will only shed his shed. That has been this country's crime for too long. Those in power exact the price of their greed from the people, then preach that such pain is a natural trial to be overcome. The indolent powers of this land have poisoned it with their lies. There is no cure but destruction.
Who's the real charlatan here? You turn people into monsters and convince them it's salvation. Even Sorba, your most loyal vassal, you twist it into a monster. You promise protection to your devoted, yet always fall short of the mark.
I have never lied. I swear upon my name, it is one of the greatest trespasses I can imagine. Have you never wondered why the king's magic is so strong and force? Or why the royal scepter can only be used by those who bear the public's favor? One royal hand clutching one bejeweled rod does not alone accomplish such wonders of magic. But what if it drew Magla not from its wielder, but from the masses? That is the truth. The royal scepter is a divine relic that absorbs Magla from people across the kingdom. And thus, the royal magic's power is near inexhaustible. Such has been the royal family's tradition for centuries, generations upon generations. Do you know what this means? Magla is mortal anxiety, which means that the people of this country now have no choice but to perpetually direct their anxiety to the king, simply to stay safe.
Absurd. And how do you explain the people of the capital going mad?
It was no madness that took them. The Magla spews from their helpless hearts at a rate far greater than the scepter can absorb. Hence the stagnation. The behavior now on full display is their inborn, true nature. When they cannot control their fears, they lash out at neighbor and outsider alike. And that is mortal weakness.
That's who they really are.
In a world like this, order built on mutual understanding is but a dream within a dream. Before we achieve resolution, the people must be corrected. On the day the late king's magic fades, I will shape the royal magic anew. All the Magla gathered over these months of turmoil will be restored to the people. Those who can overcome it will be reborn as new humans. Thus, we achieve our first round of natural selection. Our first step towards a world truly fair and just.
Natural selection? New humans? What absurd delusions.
Delusions? You witnessed how the prince lost his very self to my spell, and then re-emerged with powers and will burning ever brighter.
You mean you would do to the people exactly what you did to him? You would use the royal magic to inflict such horrors on all the crown's subjects?
Those who follow me and accept the rule of power will surely survive by virtue of their own will. But if they give in to fear, yes, they will lose both form and mind. That is what it means to protect those who follow. It is not a salvation given of empty charity, but earned through the providence of power.
Then, that's your true ambition. That's why you sent Sorba to the royal funeral. You never even wanted the throne. It was all for the royal scepter.
The shows of power, terrifying the people. It wasn't just manipulation. You justified all of that.
The man would turn all people into humans. It defies all sense.
Worry not. You've proven you're more than worthy. I've little doubt you'll survive the first culling and move on to the new world. You mentioned earlier that we might still resolve this without bloodshed. Then, I put the same offer to you. Join me, Prince. Born of elven blood, welcoming anyone regardless of tribe. It is no coincidence that you and I take inspiration from the same book.
Don't let him sway you, Your Highness.
I know you detest injustice as I do. Come with me. Let me lend you my power, and together we will change the unfair world we seek to destroy.
I don't seek to destroy this world or any other.
Exactly! He's nothing like you!
Should you deny me, then what? How would you fix this country? You must have seen it everywhere you travel. Tradition, superstition, family honor, and all those struck down unjustly in the name of such authorities. The only cure for such suffering is a simpler world, in which strength triumphs over pain. It is not a solution without cruelty. But surely the fairness it would restore to our lives is worth any sacrifice. Come with me, and we can realize this dream. What say you?
The fairness you speak of is false.
He's got the right of it. Luis. It's not even about what'll be sacrificed. It's about having respect for what the dream costs. And you've got none of that. You keep talking about your laws of power. But what that comes down to is you figure some people in this world just deserve to die. If that's what you believe in, then you can hate Forden all you want, but you're no different.
Be silent. I once had my own aspirations. Yes, I had dreams. But what has the world ever done for us?
What's happening?
The royal scepter? But how?
So be it. There is still time until my magic settles upon this land. Until then, I will watch the world collapse from my perch at the top.
Wait! Luis!
I have done this for their sakes, not for mine. History and the will of the people will prove that. If you have the strength to weather this storm and come to me, I will deem you a worthy opponent. It will be a mercy to you, at the very least.
If we push forward, we'll be in grave danger. This storm itself is a maelstrom of pure magla.
Maybe this is just what it looks like. When the people's minds are slaves to their anxiety and fear.
That doesn't mean the solution is to deform them into monsters. The man's an arrogant lunatic.
We must give chase somehow.
All aspirants to the throne.
Your Majesty?
The royal scepter has been taken. Luis now wields the royal magic to his own dark ends.
Luis was one step ahead of us. We did not expect him to seize and use the scepter before the final deadline.
His magic will be set in motion on the very day that the new king is to be decided. Such is the decree.
So it's just as Luis said. He won't let this campaign end any way but his. The bastard always loved making a spectacle of this. Your Majesty, you were killed by Luis yourself. Doesn't it matter to you that he may succeed as king?
I had sought death long before he granted it.
You wished for your own death? But why?
The ideals I once believed in, I no longer had the power within me to fulfill them. Thus, I ensured my very life would serve as key to activate the royal magic. Should revolutionary fervor seek to destroy my regime, should Luis or any other malcontent take my life, therein would lie the catalyst. Thus would I appear, on a day so appointed, with form and voice, given life by royal magic.
I see. No wonder the magic survived even the prince's reawakening. It was never a matter of retaliation against the church or anything of the sort. You truly wished to pass the crown to whoever the people elected of their own will.
Oh, Prince, my son. If thou wouldst inherit the kingdom, thou must stop Luis. That is a trial befitting one who would take the throne.
His Majesty's Magna has faded.
I guess that's it. It really is up to us to save this land's future.
Luis is just ahead. We have to find a way to get beyond this storm, reckless or not.
Let's fall back to the royal capital for now, so we can come up with a strategy.
We arrive back to the capital with people shouting outside the inn door. The people are bloodlusted, seeming to be ready to kill all who oppose Luis, as Hulkenberg comments on it being a war zone out there. Batlin sighs, asking what a man's supposed to do when they're running about screaming about justice with bloodshot eyes. Stroll says that it's a crime to disagree now. Luis called it the people's nature, supposing he can see where his disappointment springs from. But Batlin adds that our allies are working hard, so it's not all that bad. We're just grateful for it all, especially with how dire it all feels, as Stroll tells us that he talked to Neris about the game plan, and well, just like the man, he's merely gonna armor up the Skyrunner and then hope for the best. Gonna say that I really like the sound of that. Like Basilia said, it will be a do or die once we're there, no way back, and since we have one chance at this, we should do it on the very last day before he'll be crowned, to give us that slight hope. Juno agrees with that, saying that the scepter gathering Magla with the casting steadily draining that away, the ambient Magla should be gone by the final day, so it will be a true final do or die. And I will admit, I do like those types of things, so with all of us unified, we know what we must do, as our final mission starts now. However, Batlin asks us about what happened at the palace, and so we decide to give him the full rundown.
Luis is Elden. Everything is as we were told at the Ancient Sanctum.
What? Bloody hell. That's a heavy hit right off the bat.
Luis knew the truth of the royal scepter. It's a divine relic that absorbs anxiety from the people. That's the fuel for its incredible power.
The masses have grown accustomed to a life where the king bears the brunt and responsibility for their anxieties. All this chaos comes from that dynamics reversal.
Might need you to slow down a bit. So that's his aim. Luis wants to make this a land of humans.
A drastic remedy to awaken the people spoiled by the royal scepter's power. And their horrific transformation is but the end to his chosen means. Yet I sensed some other reason to go to such atrocious lengths. He pursues some other purpose.
Well, if he's Elden, then Luis must have been there when the Sanctus Church made an inferno of his home. So, you suppose it's for revenge?
Can't say. He also ordered Zorba to directly attack the Ancient Sanctum after all.
Something he said stuck with me. About how he used to have dreams. Dreams long dead. I think he doesn't trust dreams. As in, he refuses to believe in anything that actually takes a risk, like connecting with people or personal change. Maybe to Luis, dreams are just lies.
Perhaps he wants to push history forward with his own hands, like those of the world past.
It's ludicrous. I'll not let him get away with his self-obsessed madness. If we're to be ruled, it shouldn't be by someone who's given up on the world.
Indeed. Besides, The rightful heir stands with us. Should we succeed, you stand to inherit the throne soon. Are you prepared, Your Highness?
Yes, of course.
You really are committed, huh? In any case, we'll confront Louise on the last day. Until then, let's tie...
You've done a fine job so far. Time to follow through on those campaign promises, eh? Win this one for us.
Look at what Louise has made there. Unbelievable.
What's that about?